Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this floating gate front pop-up card. It's a gatefold, and when you open it, whoop, the insides pop out to meet you. I did make a version of this years ago using penguins, so it's kind of the same deal, but I'm using this time Friendly Seagulls, which is just about my all-time ever favorite celebration set. It comes in celebration catalog, which runs to February 28th, and for every $60 US that you spend, hopefully with me, thank you very much in advance, you are able to choose a free product from this catalog. These were what I pre-ordered when demonstrators were allowed to pre-order before the catalog even became live. It was just like, gotta have those, and they're hilarious. So this is what I'm using to make this card, which is quick and easy. So let me set it off to one side and I will bring in the ingredients and go through them with you. This has already had the tear and tape put on it just for speed of the video. So it's a piece of basic white cardstock, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 2 1/8 on one side. So let me just get that. So we know the trick with gate folding is only score one side, and then when you fold the other side over and butt it up against the middle, you know you've got a good seam. Because if you've scored the other side, it might be that it just depends where it falls in the paper trough. So now we've got an absolute measure up of the two 2 1/8 inch sides. There is also some of this wonderful, beautiful bouquet. Let me get that pack and just show you. This is in the current spring catalogue, and it's all these wonderful colours, including the lovely balmy blue, which I needed for this project. So there's two pieces of that, and it's 2 by 5 3/8. The front is 3 by 3.5, and then it's 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. You just sort of have to be careful that you're putting the measurements on in the right place because they're so close to each other in size. And then 2 squares of balmy blue, which are 2 1/4 square, and the basic white is 2 by 2 square, and that's it. So let me get the stamping done first, which is actually quite easy. I'm going to be using Memento Black, and like I said, the lovely seagulls. Now the thing with the polymer stamps is you peel them out of the box and you place them onto the acrylic block, but these are two separate stamps. But what I could do was place them where I wanted them to be, and then you've basically got the words and the image stamped at the same time. So that's a little time saver by a few seconds, but hey, if it's a selling point, it's a time saver. And then I've got the lovely, I could have put the gravel at the bottom, of course, but as I've only got one, it made more sense to go back and do that over. I just wanted to give a little bit of texture to where his feet are, so he wasn't looking like he was suspended in mid-air. So that's our little seagull guy for the front. The inside guys, I've got the wonderful goofy one, as I like to christen him, in a friendly sense, of course, with the French fries in his mouth. And the other one, again, is a collection of 3 separate stamps, which I just put together. And that says, I love you more than, the fries box, and then chips. Because being a Brit, we have chips. I know I just said the fries box because I have lived in America for an awfully long time. So I am bi-English. That's what I used to tell my girls. They weren't so much bilingual as bi-English. So stamping blends, and let's get a little bit of colour on. Now this guy, I gave him a grey beak because I know I'd looked up once about the feet and the beaks of seagulls. But sadly, I just think he looks rather bland. So what I'm going to do is the guy on the front, I am going to give him a yellow beak, because there's times I've been at the beach and seen different kinds of seagulls milling around. So that's my excuse. So we'll just do a little bit of colouring. So get him cute little beaks and wings. And now the French fries for this guy are going to be yellow. The French fries for this guy can be yellow. Oh, and then I completely forgot what I was rabbiting on about before. I'm giving him a yellow beak. And then he just needs a little bit of shadow underneath. And not even colouring these, I'm just going to literally dot some balmy blue. And then I will do the chips, the fries box red, because that comes as no surprise to anyone. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take the bullet tip and add an exclamation point. It doesn't come in the stamp set, but I just think it gives a little bit of gravitas to the whole proceedings. So that's all the stamping done, but we're not going to attach these guys until the very end. So I'm going to put the fronts on. Oh, looks like no, I thought it was running out. It is not. Thank goodness, because I don't have a spare one to hand, which would have been a little bit awkward if I ran out of stickiness. So I'm going to pop this one. On this side. This one. On this side. Actually, I think that's a little bit off kilter, but you know what? I will sort that out a little bit later. And now to add the middles, what I did was, this is scored. It's a piece that is 4 1/4 by 1 inch, and it's scored at 1 inch, at 1 1/2, and at 3 3/4. And I put sticky on the 2 outside edges and a little strip across the middle, not on this little 1/2 inch section, because that is actually what stands up here. And if you put sticky on there, when you close the card, you're going to stick it closed. So only on the 1 inch and the 1/2 inch ends, and a strip down the middle of the back. And then I'm going to put the back onto the blue, and it's just easier to do it if it's just a piece of plain cardstock. So I'll put adhesive either side of the sticky, and then this piece is going to go in the middle of this little 2 inch square. Try and get it as even as possible. So now it's just even, and then we'll put just regular rolling adhesive. You can put tear and tape the whole way along if you want. I just thought, as long as it's got one piece, it's going to hold it quite nicely and firmly in place. Or you could use liquid glue, of course, across the whole thing too, and that will for sure hold it. But there we go. So I've got both of the backs on and the fronts are just plain, so we've got maneuverability. So what we need to do now is stick these into the card. So I'm going to do it about a 1/4 inch from the top, and the 1/2 inch side is going on the gatefold seam. So 1/4 inch from the top, and butt that up against the side. So I'm going to peel off the, well, I don't have to do it lying down actually. peel off the backing tape of the tearing tape, line it up, add a 1/4 inch, and then close that down onto it. So now it's going to move, and then I'm going to fold the whole thing so there's no overhang, and peel the backing tape off and close the back of the card onto it. I know it's a trick we've used before when we've done gatefold cards. So now this one is in place, and we're going to just do the opposite on the other side. And actually there's nothing on this, so that's why it doesn't really matter. We could turn it over, or you could just do it to the bottom. So take the backing off the tearing tape, make sure it's butted up against the seam of the gatefold with a clearance of about a 1/4 inch. It doesn't really matter, that clearance, it just makes it look even because it's got a 1/4 inch at the top and the bottom. And then we're going to close the gate onto it, so when it opens it comes along. Fold the whole thing so you've only got blue at the edge. Peel the backing tape off and close the card onto it. So now you've got two the same. There's nothing on the front, you know what, there's a little bit of stickiness there. Let me just get rid of that, because that is going to keep sticking every time we use it. Oh, I do have an adhesive eraser, which I will have to come back and make that look a little bit more pretty. And now we can go ahead and stick everything on where they belong. So we just need 2 strips of adhesive on the back of the inside pictures. And we can just pop him into place. And then pop this one into place. So now they close nicely, and then we just need to pop our little front guy. I just think it's hilarious, this guy, because you know how loud and obnoxious seagulls can be, and he looks like he's going, "Hey friend," but you know, I love you more than chips. What's not to love about that? So gatefold, ZZ fold technique. We only want to put glue on one side, so we'll put it in the middle, flip it over, and we know we can't put glue any further than the seam. So all the way down, and then when we put it back into place, it's still catching. But I will do it with my proper eraser adhesive, because it's going to vex me. So you know what, we'll just slide that one over there, and I will use this one, which doesn't have the sticky, to highlight how fabulous it looks when you open and close it, in the inside greeting just pops out. So there you have it, 2 the same, except for the fact that he's got a different colour beak. And I just broke my nail. Oh, tragedies are happening to me, guys. So all the directions and dimensions, as usual, will be on my blog. If you have any questions or comments, pop those in the box below. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching.